Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be talking about the documentary Brats 2024. It just came out on Hulu very recently. It is an hour and 32 minutes long. And as of the recording of this film, we have a Rotten Tomato score of 85% with an audience score of 69% and a letterbox average rating of 3.0. I think overall that's pretty fair. This documentary is directed by Andrew McCarthy, who is one of the people that are so at the time there was an article that came out about the Brat Pack, which was this group of actors that was in all these films from the 80s that kind of changed the way Hollywood approached filmmaking, right? They're making films for teenagers with these younger stars, and this article kind of lumped them all together. And the documentary follows Andrew McCarthy trying to go back and talk to the people at the time, like all these actors that were part of the part of this Brad Pack at the time, and that were involved in these films. Um, but I don't. The problem with this documentary for me is that I don't know what Andrew McCarthy was trying to achieve with this. Like, I hope that he at least receives some closure from this. There's no, there's no real there's no real mission statement in my opinion. There's no I don't know what Andrew's hoping to get out of this other than to go in and maybe reconnect with some of these individuals that apparently he wasn't really friends with anyways. Like all those people, all the people in this Brad Pack, they were people that just worked in movies at the time. They didn't all hang out together. They were not a group of friends that just happened to all be movie stars at the same time. It was just kind of a coincidence that when the writer of this article set up an interview with Emilio Estevez, a few of the other guys that he spent the weekend with, like, happened to be there, and that's kind of where all this spun from. Now, I am. I don't think I'm the target audience for this. I think I'm definitely a little bit in younger than some of the intended audience because I know about a lot of these films and I've seen a few of them. Like I've seen Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink and some stuff like that they reference, but the movie doesn't even ever acknowledge like it doesn't give you a list of movies that would be part of this, right? It just assumes that if you're watching, you're gonna know. It just assumes that if you're watching, you're gonna know all these people. And I knew a few of them, like Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, and John Cryer and Rob Lowe. Like I know of all these people. I followed some of their work even still, um, but it never it feels like McCarthy never intended for this was kind of like this is our secret, this is our club, and you're not invited, but you can look at it from the outside. And I think that's what kind of alienated me as an audience member, as somebody watching. Like if I wasn't already in on the joke, like I was not going to be told what we were doing. Um, there's also a big sequence of the film where we see just McCarthy like calling people random, like all these people randomly, which to me just felt like it was taking up time to make this a little longer than maybe the material that they had. We see a lot of McCarthy driving to these places, which I can understand if he uses that to kind of set the mood. But a few of those times it was just like, oh, I missed the exit. Like he's so distracted with this trip that he can't even follow the map. Um, yeah, and I think the conversations that they had were very interesting. Like I think that's probably the part that I enjoyed the most was just once he did get to talk to these people what they were saying. But like I said, at no point during the documentary do we get a mission statement. Do we get um, a an overview of like we don't even know what the documentary assumes that you have read this article and that you're familiar with it. We get like the thesis statement of the article, but we don't know all the names that were involved other than the people that he starts naming off. Even themselves, the people that he's talking to, like the memoirs, like I don't know if I was part of this. Like who? There was no list because there wasn't a real thing. And I think the film kind of concludes with McCarthy talking to the writer of the article, and they had overall a pretty good conversation. I think McCarthy wanted some closure, or at least it felt that way, and I hope that he received it. But yeah, to me, this was just like it was more. It felt to me more like a blog, like a vlog. Like I'm gonna do this. This is a project for me, and if you're in the know, then you know, and you're on board. But it was definitely not something welcoming to the other. I wish it had. I wish it had at least given me a list of movies to watch from this time, from this era. Um, and I will say, like, the first part of it, when he's calling all these people, when he's trying to reach out to all these people, it's a little bit cringe, and I don't know, like, that made me feel uncomfortable. Like, this is just awkward, because, like I said, these people weren't all friends. They just kind of knew each other from the business sometimes. Like, they probably met each other a few times at premieres and stuff, but they weren't friends that hung out all the time. So, like, you have this person that you know each other by name because you're in the same industry. And nothing against Andrew McCarthy. Like, I don't even know. Like, he was the one person in the whole documentary that I had never heard of because I've never seen St. Elmo's Fire, and I believe that was kind of like the one of his biggest roles. But yeah, I didn't even know him from the movies. So it's weird. Like, if Jed Nelson had been doing this, like, at least I'm familiar with Jed Nelson. So yeah, overall, I don't think this was for me. I hope that if you watched this and you enjoyed it, like, I good for you. I don't think, like I said, I think this is very for a very specific audience. I just happen to not be a part of it. So yeah, but if you've seen this, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.